Hello everybody, and welcome back to the final episode of It's Called a Podcast, Sweetheart, before the sequel. I'm Andy Lagopus.
And I'm PinkStar. I was worried for a second that you were going to say that it was going to be the end of the podcast. And I was like, no!
No. Just the final one before Zootopia 2.
Yes, because when you hear this podcast, when you listen to this episode, well, it's going to be close to 3 weeks before the sequel is finally released on theaters.
Mm-hmm. And I cannot wait.
None of us can wait.
And remember, as always, this is brought to you by our lovely Patreon supporters over on patreon.com/ZNN, where if you sign up for $5 or more per month, then you get to join the audience and be part of our live studio audience that is currently listening to us as we record. You get to comment and discuss things and ask us questions at the end.
Yes, and of course, this bonus as part of the patrons is not going to be available during the official uploading of the episode, both on YouTube and Spotify. So that's exclusive for patrons. So join in and be part of the audience for the live recording sessions,
where you get to hear us completely screw up our lines and figure out what we're going to say. Yay, live! So, today, we have a very special topic.
Yes, very indeed. Before we go into that, let's go a little bit over the news.
There's so much news recently.
Exactly, there's so much news. There has, by now, for many, I'm sure a lot of you have already have note of this, or if not, you should check out the latest news on our website, ZootopiaNewsNetwork.com. And you can check it out, all recent news related to Zootopia 2, especially about the additional cast that it's going to be performing on the movie. Lots of cameos from other Disney franchises are going to be available on Zootopia 2. Also, new trailers have been coming up in the last few weeks, so be careful for the spoilers if you really are not, you want to wait until the movie's released.
Exactly. And if that is the case, probably don't watch our last video, which will be our reactions to the trailers that just dropped out of nowhere.
Yes.
Also, be aware that as we get closer, they reveal more and more. So just be cognizant of that if you're trying to go in without any spoilers.
We can mention that for the additional cast that is going to be performing on Zootopia 2, there are lots of familiar performers, actors that you have heard previously. Like, obviously, you have heard Stephanie
Beatrice.
You have heard about her in Encanto.
She was in Encanto, yeah.
She is Mirabel Madrigal. And you can obviously hear Johnny Leguizamo, that's how it's pronounced.
Mm-hmm. John Leguizamo, yeah.
That he is also in Encanto, that he is Bruno. And we can listen to him as well in Zootopia 2. So just be...
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay, yeah. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is also going to be there. Tons of stars. Josh Gad is also going to be there. You probably know him as Olaf from Frozen. There's tons of
basically, they're pulling in all their celebrity casting from all their past few movies.
Yes, so pay close attention, listen carefully, and you might be able to point out who are they going to be performing in Zootopia 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if they are incredibly tiny one-liner things, it counts.
Yeah, it counts. And if you want to know who they are performing, which characters are they going to perform, go and check out the news article at Zootopia News Network.
In the meantime,
let's go to the main topic for this episode.
Let's take a trip back in time. The year is 2016.
Long time ago. Well, if we really think about it, technically we can also take it to 2015. because
Well, okay,
the video,
kind of.
the movie Zootopia was starting to be promoted on 2015, so technically can count. And officially, Zootopia was going to be originally released on 2015, but because, as we have mentioned in previous episodes, well, the movie got delayed to be released until March 2016 because they had to redo almost like 90% of the storyline all over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
technically,
it was originally going to be a Thanksgiving release.
yeah, just like they have done today. Oh, yes, technically today for Zootopia 2.
Mm-hmm.
Practically 10 years after its original release, almost by 4 months.
Yep. Very close to the full decade.
But
I'll be honest, I actually don't know much about the lead up to Zootopia's release. I did not see any marketing or advertising for it.
like from what we know, well, it was firstly promoted on D23. And
Well, yeah, that's how they always announce their movies and such.
yes, and well, this is a little bit of my personal part. You can check out an article I had done some years ago about Zootopia's marketing prior to the movie's release. You can check it out on Zootopia News Network as well. The only problem is that back in the day, Twitter worked differently. And
This was
every
before
movie.
it was bought by a multi-billionaire.
Yes. What I mean is that before, like we know Disney owns a lot of Twitter accounts. They are specific for everything related to their franchises. But officially, Zootopia had an official Twitter account. So everything related to the movie and being advertising and promoting the film for buying the tickets and everything, it was released on that Twitter specifically. But because now they are kind of like all joined together, that account was deleted. So unfortunately, the official links to those tweets that you see on my article are no longer there, unfortunately.
Which is a real shame.
Yeah, the promoting, even if it wasn't that loudly, it was pretty good. I felt that I analyzed it and I thought it was pretty good because the idea
It was good, it just wasn't all over the place. Like, it wasn't very... It was high quality, but low quantity.
Yeah, it wasn't a conventional strategy, I have to say that. But there was promotion for the movie in almost all social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and back then even Tumblr. When Tumblr was still popular, there was an official Zootopia blog on Tumblr, and they will be sharing parodies of different posters and everything. Like I mentioned, the previous Zootopia official Facebook site and Twitter account, they are both deleted because officially now Disney uploads everything related to the franchises in their official social media. But yeah, the idea, like something that was tagged here, quoted, Zootopians are just like us. See what they have been into this week. And you can see the mammals just doing their everyday life, buying groceries, taking pictures, going to work, all those things. The idea is that for this advertising, like I said, it's a conventional. Like you said, perhaps there wasn't enough hype back then when it was prior to its release, but it was a way to... I find it like an interesting strategy because at the end, when people went and watched the movie, they were recommending it. You could catch this kind of posters, for instance, in the US in certain malls, and you will kind of like, what is this? You will see the name and the all the brands and everything that were part of the promotions, and we're like, hey, that's it. This looks curious, like.
Exactly. and kind of just selling you on the world and how it's a lot like ours with everything, but it's animals and not humans. That's the general concept.
Yes. Because, like, contrary to other Disney movies where you share the plot and everything, and it's kind of like a bit easier to advertise it. In this case, because Zootopia is a buddy cop movie, they couldn't give too much details of the story because it will ruin the movie. So they try to focus more on the concept itself of Zootopia rather than the story.
Exactly. Which, you know what, that kind of works.
Yep.
Oh, are we ready to go to kind of like when the movie released?
Okay, yes.
All right. So, fast forward a little bit, and it's March of 2016 when it finally comes out. Dead season. Not much going on, movie-wise.
Yes.
Normally, the months that movies are kind of relegated to kind of just, okay, yeah, it came out, it's there, we don't care much, you know?
Yep. Ironically enough, it's kind of the same right now on 2025. It's kind of similar, like at least on theaters there have not been much of major animation movie releases. Like there have been successful animated movies, but they have been released via streaming platforms, but not on theaters.
Yeah, movies are in a very different spot now than they were in 2016 thanks to a certain global pandemic.
Oh yes, I know, but I don't mean necessarily the pandemic. I mean the year, because like Inside Out 2 was a hit. It was a huge success. And it is expected that Zootopia 2 will have a similar success that Inside Out 2.
Well, yes, but at the same time, movie theater going in general has tanked and hasn't quite recovered since then. Plus, Disney has a bit of an particular issue from Disney Plus being a thing, where a lot of the times people are expecting movies to come out and they'll just wait and watch it on Disney Plus. So, it's an interesting situation, but as you said, some movies can break through that, like Inside Out 2. So, we'll see how Zootopia 2 does, but Zootopia 1, that came out before streaming service for Disney. Only one at the time was Netflix, and yeah, it blew up in theaters.
Tremendously. But obviously, especially, it blew up in Asia. Like, of course, we know that this was a deeply beloved
once
movie
it came out in
Asia.
Asia. It didn't come out in Asia first, though. It came out in the US first and then spread elsewhere, and it wasn't for a few weeks that Asia got it, so it was definitely interesting to see. But a few days after it came out, I went to see it. Like maybe a week or two after. And then I saw it again. And again. And again. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to make a blog about this. So, welcome to the original version of ZNN.
Wow.
It looked very different back then.
It has definitely evolved.
Big time. I didn't have any slick graphics. I just had a really bare bones logo. I had a thing on the sidebar. It was running in Blogger, which is a totally different platform to what we currently are using. I tried starting a ZNN Discord, but then there was the other Discord server, so I just abandoned that immediately. We had a few other things, but generally speaking, that hasn't been archived. This is what it looked like. I didn't even have like a full background. Like, it was a transparent background, which makes it difficult to read somewhat. Oh boy. So much old stuff. It uh, this takes me back, you know?
Yes. Back when
So,
in general the fandom was starting to rise, because
mhm.
like you said, I remember watching the movie like 2 to 3 weeks after it was released, and obviously I loved the movie.
Mhm.
And I was scrolling through Twitter and Tumblr to find what other kinds of stuff people have created, be it the comics, drawings, fanfics, and anything, because it was really on Pixiv for the Asian, like the Asian deviant art that is
Mhm.
Pixiv, and I will find tons of great drawings from people and everything. Like it was a very beautiful time.
It was. It really was. I think it might be fun to go back and take a look at some of the firsts.
Yeah, that would be
What do you
really
say?
nice. Yes, yes.
Okay, so this was the first thing we ever featured on ZNN. The song Impossible by the Aviators. So this was the first thing we ever featured, and I don't think we'll be able to, like, include it in this video, of course, because it's a song. Yeah, that was March 31st, 2016.
Wow.
And at the start, it was just me. The first comic we featured was this one about Clawhauser. It was a very, like, this fandom worked fast. I really need to emphasize that. This fandom was producing so much content in the early days.
I believe you, yes. I remember, like I said, back on Tumblr, I would see tons of new art, new comics, and everything, and it was so amazing to see what people had come up with.
Well, Zootopia was one of the top movies discussed on all of Tumblr for that entire year.
Yeah, when fandoms were pretty active over there. Like back then, Tumblr was the go-to social platform where people will talk about their fandoms.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And to an extent, it still is.
Yeah, but it's
It's
not
one of
as hyped
the...
as before. Like people nowadays rarely use a Tumblr.
Tell that to everyone still on Tumblr.
No, like I mean they do, but it's not the same as it was back then.
Fair enough. But it wasn't for 2 more weeks until we actually got another member of the team. So, Moonwolf joined then. He was the web developer and basically took the website and was like, no, we're actually going to like, you're doing it all wrong. Like, let me handle this. So I did, and that kind of started the ball rolling. We also got Tom Block, who was the first Abyss Gazer, or pre-reader, as we call him these days. We started off strong with Art of the Day posts, because I did that, like, the second day of the site being up.
Oh.
So, let's take a quick look at the first ever Art of the Day post. We have this from Das Catchers. I'm so sorry with the name, but all off the bat, there was so much cool stuff.
This turned to CNN's memory lane.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a time capsule of the early days of the fandom.
Yeah, technically, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, it just kind of, like, I'll put it this way. In the month of April of 2016, 1 month after the movie came out, and a few days after ZNN started, I wrote roughly 125 articles.
Wow.
And I continued to write most of the articles. Overall, like, I loved it. Like, it was so much fun. But it's not about me. It's about there being so much amazing stuff to share.
Yes, I get that. Yes.
Like, I wanted everybody to see this and be like, wow, these people are doing amazing things. I want to, like, take a look. Look at them. Look at these people doing cool things. Like, that was very much the attitude. The second art of the day was specifically about shipping, and I specifically chose to troll everybody. Because even at that time, everyone was all on the Wild Hops train.
Yep.
So I decided, okay, let's do everybody else. Judy with everyone else. So Gideon Gray, the Clawhauser, random characters, Bellwether, a My Little Pony character, Hans from Frozen, like
incredible,
just absolute nonsense. Yeah. Then there started being full comics being produced, and of course we had to share those. And this one, Night Terrors by Rick Griffin, is the one that still has links that work. So it gets so much traction on Pinterest to this day.
Yes, that's the part of it that's sad, that some of the comics were lost in time because either the artists move on or disappear from the internet, and or other projects were put on hold and never had a comeback or anything.
Yeah. Or something happened with the website's hosting and it was just lost. The first fanfic we shared is The Fox and the Rabbit. Ah, man, Shipping Mammals, that is a name that brings me back. And, like, we used to do polls. We used to do, like, interactive stuff like this. Like, how many times have you been to see Zootopia? What's surprising is how many of us have been to see it 6 or more times. Oh, 10. Like, something broke on the website there. I don't actually know what happened. But it is amusing to see. So much cool stuff in the early days.
Yes, many artists like I can speak for myself. Like when the movie was released on Japan, there was tons of fan arts on Pixiv. Also, some of them were lost because also the artists either removed their work or either just deleted their social media. But up until this day, most of them I still have them saved on my bookmarks on Pixiv, and I look back like this. Many of these drawings have aged very well because they were made with tons of passion. Like you can tell that people really adored this movie when it was released. And I think the peak of the Zootopia fandom was when it was first released on 2016 up until 2018. I think that was the peak.
I would agree. Like, up until 2018, there was news and, like, new things coming out because it won the Oscar. It, like, he was nominated for all sorts of awards. The directors were doing interviews and, like, discussion, and Byron Howard was still on Twitter, and all sorts of stuff.
Rich Moore as well, yes.
Yes, and Rich Moore. And just so much stuff happened. And there was so much content. I cannot emphasize enough just what a flood it was. And how exciting it was at that time. And I guess what this is all coming back to is just how excited I am to see what people do with Zootopia 2.
Yes.
I cannot wait for this second flood.
Yeah, because, like, it was a bit lukewarm, like, before the pandemic. Like, I felt it lukewarm because, like, I think what I found it very interesting back then is that what still had a little bit of hype was the characters like Judy and Nick being on Disney parks. I think that was a little bit also to it because like in the US you could only see them meet and greet on Disneyland Anaheim, and on Orlando you could meet them as in during a street dance party where you could dance with them and everything. But like when they were originally now in Japan or in Hong Kong, Shanghai, you will see them feature in parades. You will see them perform with other characters and such, and that was really nice to see. And you will see people uploading their videos of the performances, pictures of them greeting and the meet and greet the characters and everything. And that was really also nice to see that people were able to meet the characters on the parks. That was also, well, from what I was able to see as an outsider, I found that really, really endearing.
I'm just being hit with a massive wave of nostalgia here. I'm sorry.
Yes, and back then there were the fandom metrics on Tumblr, where you could see the people will like what were the most discussed movies or anything on Tumblr during this week, this month, and you will see the Zootopia will always be on the top 10, top 20. Zootopia was always there.
I followed that and tracked it like seriously. Like, I have an article from 2017 where talking about how it is still one of the top 10, like, at that time. December 2017.
Are the fandom metrics still a thing on Tumblr? I have no idea.
I don't remember. Yeah. Zootopia was number 7 at the end of 2017. Which is absolutely insane. Most movies do not last that long on Tumblr's fandometrics.
Yes, and you will see them go up and down depending on the during that time if there was anything related to what was it? If there was any Zootopia fan project that was released then, people will be hype over it, and that will put Zootopia back on the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, I looked it up. Zootopia was in the top 20 most active fandoms from the first week of January 2016 all the way through July of 2017. 80 weeks.
That will all be almost 20, almost 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I even made a spreadsheet to, like, go through and show where it was in the rankings. It just goes to show how much time and effort I put into this then.
I'm just checking right now, and technically, it seems like fandometrics are not a thing anymore, because I'm checking.
Shame.
They rarely even post anymore on the fandom official.
That's a shame.
Yes, it was really fun, but it's because it stopped working because once the guidelines for Tumblr switched, they made some changes in there, and people were really happy about that. So they felt like they were
mass exodus.
Yes, it was really massive, and people tons of people were complaining, both people who were just like the spectators, the audience, and artists. None of them were happy, so they moved on and they left Tumblr. Now they are on Twitter or Patreon. Yep.
Which is a shame because Tumblr is the better platform, honestly.
Yeah, it's comfortable to use, but because all the guidelines and everything they modified, it's not the same anymore.
Basically, they made it so you can't have not safe for work material on there. So, but this isn't about Tumblr, it's about Zootopia. And There
Oh,
was a ton of content on Tumblr, but also elsewhere.
I found a well. It's not. It's I technically it's the most recent one. They did a final top movies on 2019. Zootopia's
Oh,
at 49.
hey, you know what? For 3 years after its release, that's not bad.
And to think that original Zootopia on 20 look at 2018, Zootopia was
Hmm.
at number what was it? Let me check. It was at 20. It dropped
See,
almost 30 places.
Zootopia is one of the leggiest movies of all time, I've said before. And by leggy, I mean it stands on its own two legs so solidly and does not leave for long periods of time. It lasted in the public consciousness far longer than most movies, period.
Yeah, like not even Moana managed to do that. And
Oh, yeah.
Disney was betting on Moana because it was a Disney princess movie.
And a musical and all of that. And,
It wasn't the
well,
same.
no. Zootopia just had that special something to it. And we've talked about that before. It's at the point where here we are, almost a full decade later, and we're still here. And that's beautiful, I think.
Yes. And a new generation of artists is here.
Yes. And a bunch of the old guard are returning. Cider Stripes is back with a new Fallout Zootopia, which I am so excited for. That was one of my favorite fanfics from the early days.
Who else might be doing a comeback?
I mean, I'm just paying attention to see who else, returns. I would love to see more from T.G. Weaver. His comics were always so silly. Same with Reply to Anons. That was always a good time. Any of the old comic artists, any of the old fanfic writers, any of the old artists, we miss you. And we hope that you return for Zootopia 2.
Hopefully, but well, because life is, obviously things have changed, so of course
Yeah, of course. You're not in the same place you were a decade ago. Of course.
it will be kind of difficult for some people. But I really, like you said, I hope it will be a good combo of new artists and artists from the past that can enjoy once again this new story with these beloved characters, old and new as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think that's all I've really got to say on the topic. Do you have anything else to add?
Well, what I can also say that I think we previously mentioned this when we talked about Zootopia being officially 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked about it and what people have referred to on their comments when we asked them what does Zootopia mean to them. And something that I really enjoyed that is that it brought a lot of people together from different ages, from different nations, and the whole thing about communicating with other people, knowing that hey, I'm someone who's from Mexico. Where are you from? Like, oh, I'm from Spain, or I'm from UK, or stuff like that. You will learn from other people who also loved this movie as much as you did, and be able to share how much this movie was, how you love the storyline, the characters, also the tactical parts about animation quality, voice acting, performance, music, all that stuff. You could discuss that along with other people, like you mentioned, the shaping and everything. You could see the collaborations between artists and all that stuff, like how it really managed to connect tons of people all over the world and bring them together to enjoy a simple story about what is to leave our prejudices behind.
2016 really was a glorious year, wasn't it?
And it brought a message that it's still very important up until this day. and it will be on the future as well.
And it will continue to do so long into the future if just the community from the first movie is anything to go by. Us getting a second movie, we're never going anywhere.
Yeah, like many of us have waited a long time to have a follow-up. And we kind of had it with Zootopia Plus, the miniseries.
Yeah, but that's not the same as a sequel.
Yes. And well, I personally would have preferred an animated series, personally. But
a TV show?
A TV show, yeah. I would personally have preferred that, but I understand why they decided to go for the sequel. And if this movie is successful enough, I hope they do go with that route of making a series, because now with the reptiles, along with the mammals,
the world is expanding.
It is expanding, but it will also be great that I'm pretty sure that our beloved cop duo, it's going to be stronger than ever after we finish watching the sequel. And I think it will make a lot of sense if we see their follow-up adventures on the series.
Agreed.
They have to see mini adventures on comics, official Disney comics. Mm-hmm. And it will be great to see those kind of adventures animated.
Yeah, it would. It really would. So if Disney, if you're listening to this, let's make it happen.
Yeah, and I don't care if it's 2D. Like, I would love it if it was 2D.
I mean, hey, you've already got like a third of the cast of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So let's make it happen.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we've got for this topic this month. Honestly, we wanted to do something a little bit more nostalgic before we go into this whole new era that we're about to enter.
Yes, because, well, like we have mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, from when you are going to listen to this, it's going to be between 2 or 3 weeks before the movie is released. So obviously, on the next podcast on December, we're not going to discuss about the movie yet for those who haven't watched it yet. So we're going to go with a different route for December's episodes. We'll see what we're going to work on. But yeah, probably we're going to talk...
We will have seen it multiple times by that point, though.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that people from other places in the world, perhaps they won't have time to watch it yet. So I think it will be safer to talk about the sequel properly until January.
You know, that's probably fair. But for now, though, enjoy, and I cannot wait to see what this fandom becomes in 1 month.
Yes, it will be amazing to see. From what little we have been able to see, at least from my part, I have been able to see on Twitter with the whole hype with the trailers releases, it has been huge. And a lot of artists have been encouraged to write and draw tons of stuff. And they are very, very excited to see the movie. So I'm pretty sure all those numbers we're seeing right now are going to be multiplied a lot once the movie is officially out.
So, until then, remember, this is all thanks to our lovely Patreon members, whose names will be at the end of this episode. And yeah, I'm Andy Lagopus.
And I'm PinkStar.
Thank you all so much for listening and for being with us on this incredible journey through to now where we will have the sequel in just a few short weeks.
Enjoy it plenty.
Go see it many, many times. Maybe even get a Gary DeSnake popcorn bucket. That is a real thing that they are doing.
Yeah, and for those who haven't, get your tickets as soon as possible.
Yes, because they will sell out. I can guarantee that. If only because I will probably be buying a whole theater's worth myself.
I can't imagine
if I can get the money for it. Take care, enjoy, and till next time.
Boom.